The war was finally over. After 5 long years of blood, fire, and darkness, peace had returned to the galaxy. Humanity had won. The enemy, a powerful alien race called the Zalari, had been defeated. They were fast, smart, and deadly, but the humans had something stronger: willpower. And now, the soldiers were coming home, heroes in the eyes of Earth. One of them was Commander Ryan Hale. Ryan was not like other soldiers. He didn't smile at the cameras. He didn't give speeches or celebrate. He had seen too much: friends lost, cities destroyed, and choices that haunted him every night. But Earth called him a hero, so he stood quietly at the ceremony, wearing his black uniform, medals shining in the lights of the Grand Hall. The president spoke with pride. "Today we honor our bravest warriors," she said. "Without them, we would not be here today." Then came the moment no one expected. "As a symbol of victory," she said, "we offer our greatest soldiers a reward, a living trophy from the enemy." 2 guards stepped forward. Between them was a tall alien woman, silver skin, violet eyes, dark hair that flowed like water. She wore simple clothes and chains around her wrists. The guards pushed her gently toward Ryan. "She is yours now," said the officer beside him. "A Zalari female. Completely loyal, she won't fight." Ryan's jaw tightened. "I didn't ask for this," he said coldly. "It's a gift," the officer replied. "She's part of the surrender agreement. All high-rank officers get one." "I'm not interested," Ryan said, turning away. But the president herself approached, smiling too brightly. "She is a reminder, Commander," she said, "that you are a winner and they have lost." The alien woman looked at Ryan. Her face was calm, expressionless, but her eyes were deep, like they held secrets no one could see. Ryan finally nodded, just once. He didn't want her, but he didn't want to make a scene either. "Fine," he said, "I'll take her." The crowd clapped, not knowing the quiet storm in his heart later. They were transported to his private quarters on the military space station orbiting Earth. The place was quiet, filled with machines, old books, and silence. The alien woman sat in the corner, her hands resting on her knees, her eyes on the floor. Ryan looked at her, unsure what to say. "Do you speak?" he asked. She didn't answer. "I'm not your enemy," he said, softer this time. Still, she said nothing. He sighed and sat down, rubbing his tired eyes. "I didn't want this," he whispered to himself. Outside, the stars drifted like snowflakes in the black sky. Hours passed. Ryan fell asleep in his chair, gun resting near his side. Dreams came, of war, fire, screams, the sounds of soldiers dying. He woke with a sharp breath, hand reaching for his weapon, but nothing moved. The room was still. He looked around. The alien woman was still sitting, staring at him, but now something was different. She looked awake, alert, as if she had waited for this moment. She stood slowly, and Ryan tensed. "Stop," he said quietly, hand near his gun. But she didn't attack. Instead, she took one small step forward and spoke a single word. Her voice was clear, soft, not like the growling tones of the other Zalari soldiers. She said, "Help." Just one word, that was all. Then silence again. Ryan stared at her, heart beating faster. He had expected hate, fear, or anger, but not this. He stood up, slowly, watching her. "Why would you say that?" he asked, but she didn't speak again. The lights flickered for a moment. Somewhere outside the station, an alarm rang in the distance. A system glitch, or maybe something else. Ryan looked back at her, confused. She wasn't just a slave. She wasn't even just a Zalari. There was something else in her eyes. Something human. Something broken. Something hiding. He sat back down, watching her closely now. His mind was racing. What did she mean? Was it a trick? A trap? Or something deeper? In that quiet room, under the weight of stars and silence, a strange thought entered Ryan's mind. Maybe the real war wasn't over. Maybe it had only just begun. The lights on the space station flickered again, but this time, Ryan noticed something. The flickers weren't random. They were timed 3 short blinks, then 2 long, then 1 short. A pattern. He turned toward the alien woman, still sitting quietly in the corner. Her silver skin shimmered in the low light, but her eyes, they were watching, not staring blankly like a prisoner, but observing, learning, calculating. Ryan walked closer. Careful, slow. He didn't know what she was, but he knew one thing now. She was not what the military said she was. He sat on the floor, across from her. No weapons, no commands, just silence. After a few moments, he asked, "What's your name?" There was a long pause. Then she spoke. "Quiet, Aaron." She looked at him, eyes sharp. "My name is Aaron." Ryan leaned back, surprised. "You weren't supposed to talk," he said. "I wasn't supposed to survive," she replied. That sentence hit like a slow explosion in Ryan's mind. He tried to keep his voice calm. "What do you mean?" But Aaron said nothing more. Her eyes dropped again, lips sealed, like she had already said too much. The next day, Ryan pretended everything was normal. He walked the halls, saluted the officers, kept his expression blank, but inside, his mind was spinning. Who was she really? Why did she ask for help? He returned to his room with a plan. He brought her food, real food, not the synthetic nutrition packs they gave soldiers. She ate slowly, carefully, as if she hadn't tasted real food in months. After she finished, he asked again, "What happened to your people?" Erin raised her head. "They surrendered," she said. "Your leaders didn't want peace." Her voice was cold, but not angry, just tired. "We gave you everything," she continued. "Maps, data, weapons, everything we had left." Ryan felt the floor under him shift. Not literally, just the weight of the truth. "You're saying we didn't need to fight anymore?" Erin nodded once. "But they kept fighting anyway." She looked at him. "They needed a reason to burn our cities." Ryan stood up, walking to the small window. He looked out at Earth, glowing blue and peaceful below. His whole life had been about following orders, but now things were different. That night, something even stranger happened. He found Aaron sitting near his old tech shelf, a dusty mess of broken drones, scanners, and useless gear. He opened his mouth to tell her to leave it alone, but then he saw it. She had already repaired a recon drone. Repaired, rebooted, and rewired. He stepped forward, stunned. No one's been able to fix that in 3 years. Aaron looked at him with calm eyes. "I used to design better ones," she said. Ryan felt like he was looking at someone else now. Not a slave, not a gift, not even just an alien. She was something more, intelligent, dangerous, and maybe trying to warn him. "What were you before the war?" he asked. "I was a systems architect," she said. "Quantum AI, tactical programming, deep neural design." Ryan stared. "You're a scientist?" "Yes," Aaron answered. "Or I used to be, before your army destroyed our laboratories." He sat down slowly, rubbing his forehead. None of this made sense. "Why would they give you to me?" he asked. Aaron's eyes darkened. "They didn't know who I was, or maybe they did, and wanted me gone quietly." Ryan stood and locked the door. Paranoia itched in his skin. He lowered his voice. "If this is true, I need proof." Aaron reached into the collar of her shirt, slowly, and pulled out a thin data crystal, no larger than a fingernail. "This holds part of the truth," she said. "The rest is hidden." Ryan took it, heart pounding. His fingers trembled as he inserted it into his data pad. The screen blinked once, then opened. Strange codes, alien scripts, and human files merged together. Footage of a secret strike. Earth soldiers attacking a peace envoy. Documents signed by High Command. Orders to silence anyone who questioned the mission. Ryan looked at her, his voice hollow. This is real." Aaron nodded slowly. "I never wanted war," she whispered. Neither did Ryan. But it had already begun again, this time not with guns and ships, but with secrets and lies and the quiet fear of the truth. Asterisk. The data crystal kept blinking, even after Ryan shut the pad off. like it still had something more to say, but Ryan wasn't ready to hear it yet. He looked at Erin, sitting quietly on the floor, her knees pulled to her chest. "I saw it," he said, voice tight. "Our troops attacked your peace ships." Erin didn't move, didn't flinch. "I told you," she said. "We didn't lose the war, Commander, you just erased us." That sentence hung in the air like smoke. Ryan had never thought about it like that. He thought victory meant survival, but maybe it meant silence. He turned away, walking in slow circles, his fingers twitching as if they still wanted to hold a weapon. But this wasn't a battlefield. This was something worse. He looked at Erin again. "I need to know everything," he said. She stood up, calm and steady. "Then come with me," she replied. Ryan hesitated. "Where?" "To the place where the war never ended," she said. 2 hours later, they left the station. He told the command he was going for routine atmospheric drills. They didn't question it. Ryan still wore his medals, still looked like a hero. No one saw the Zalari woman sitting quietly beside him in the small fighter craft. They flew in silence, past the orbital rings, into the black void between worlds. Erin guided him with quiet instructions. "Left here, down 6 degrees, pulse engine cut at 17 seconds. Ryan realized she knew space better than most Earth pilots. They reached an abandoned mining moon. Gray, cracked, forgotten, no signals, no life signs. No satellites, just dust and silence. But Erin said, "This was our hidden lab." They entered through a half-collapsed tunnel. Rusty metal scraped against boots. Old warning lights blinked in red and yellow. Ryan shone his torch around. Shattered screens, broken consoles, dried blood on a wall. "What happened here?" he whispered. Erin knelt beside a damaged pod. "I did," she said quietly. Ryan blinked, confused. "You killed them?" She shook her head. "No." She touched the panel, and a hidden drawer slid open. Inside, a second crystal, much darker, older. "I shut this lab down the day I found out the truth." Ryan took the crystal and inserted it into his portable reader. The screen flickered, then filled with blueprints. Diagrams, photos, and reports. He scrolled faster, eyes wide. "Wait," he said. "These aren't weapons." "No," Erin said. "They're hybrids." Images filled the screen. Test tubes holding strange creatures. Some part human, some part Zalari. "They were trying to merge us," Ryan said slowly. "No," Erin replied. "You were." Ryan dropped the reader, breathing hard. "Impossible," he said. Erin stared at him. "Your leaders wanted control." "Not peace," she said. "So they used our knowledge to design something new." "A new race," Ryan whispered. "Obedient, emotionless, powerful." He stepped back, hands shaking. "This can't be true," he muttered. But deep inside, he knew it was. The silence in the reports, the missing missions, the unexplained captures, it all made sense now. "They hid this from us," he said. "They hid it from everyone." Erin replied, "Even me, until it was too late." Ryan leaned against the wall, his mind crashing. He had followed orders, killed enemies, saved Earth, but now he saw it was built on buried truth. And he was part of it. A tool, a soldier, a hero built on lies. Erin placed a hand on the wall. Behind it was a hidden chamber, still powered. Inside were sealed pods, some cracked, some still glowing, and inside them, things moved. "What are they?" Ryan asked. "Failures," Erin said. "Half of us, half of you. Why didn't you destroy them?" "I couldn't," she said. "Some were children." Ryan stared through the glass, his reflection blending with the creature inside. For the first time he wondered, who was really human now? Erin touched his shoulder. "You wanted truth," she said. "But truth is heavy." Ryan nodded slowly. "I still want it," he said. "Then we have to leave," she said. "Because now they'll come looking for you." He looked up. "Why?" Erin turned back toward the dark tunnel. "Because once you've seen the truth," she whispered, "you become the enemy too." Asterisk. The stars looked peaceful from above. But Ryan Hawley no longer saw peace when he looked at them. He saw shadows. Secrets buried in frozen moons and broken labs, and now he was one of those secrets too. Inside the shuttle, Erin was quiet. She stared at the stars like they were old friends who had betrayed her. Her hands rested in her lap, but her body was tense, ready to move, ready to run. Ryan sat at the controls. His eyes locked on the radar, nothing behind them yet, but he knew it was coming. "They'll track the ship soon," Erin said. "They have satellites near the Titan belt," Ryan nodded. "Then we don't give them time." He activated stealth mode, blacking out external lights, dropping the heat. Signature. The ship slowed, coasting through dead space like a ghost. No signal, no sound, just a soft hum of energy in the floor. "Where do we go now?" Ryan asked. Erin leaned forward, pulling up an old map. "Here," she said, pointing to a forgotten mining station deep in neutral space. "An outpost," she continued, "used by smugglers, rebels, and those who want to disappear. Sounds perfect," Ryan said. Erin didn't smile, but her eyes softened for just a second. They flew in silence. Ryan kept checking the rear sensors. Still nothing. Still empty space. But then the screen blinked red. One contact, then two, then five. "Drop." "Ships," Ryan whispered. Erin leaned in, eyes narrowing. "They found us faster than expected." Ryan tightened his grip on the controls. "I can outrun them," he said. "No," Erin replied. "You'll never make it. They have interceptors." Ryan's jaw clenched. "Suggestions?" Erin looked at him calmly. "You'll have to trust me." He gave her a short nod. "I already do." She moved to the back of the shuttle and pulled off a panel in the floor. Inside was an emergency pod, not for escape, but for invisible transmission. "Put the data core in here," she said. "We send the truth." Ryan hesitated. "We're not even sure who'll receive it." "Doesn't matter," she said. "We send it anyway." He slid the core into the pod, sealed the hatch, and pressed the launch switch. The pod shot into space silently, blending with the debris field nearby. Now even if they were caught, someone might still find the truth. But it came at a cost. The dropships were closer now. One of them locked on, fired. The shuttle shook as the rear shields lit up in sparks. Ryan cursed under his breath. "They're not here to capture us." "No," Erin said. "They're here to erase us." He swung the ship into a spin, diving toward a nearby asteroid cluster. Laser fire followed them, close, burning. Metal scraped against stone as Ryan guided the ship through narrow cracks in the rocks. One wrong move, and they'd be dust. But somehow they made it through. "We lost two of them," Ryan said, breathless. "But the others won't stop," Erin replied. They reached the edge of the belt, in the distance. The dark shape of the abandoned outpost came into view, floating. Broken, but still functional. "We land there," she said. "We'll hide in the maintenance tunnels." Ryan guided the ship down, landing gear grinding against rusted platforms. They jumped out fast, grabbing what gear they could, and disappeared into the shadows inside. The station was cold and quiet. Old posters peeled from walls, lights flickering like dying stars. They moved fast, feet echoing down empty corridors. Ryan checked his wrist pad. "We have maybe 10 minutes before they scan this place." Erin stopped in front of a sealed hatch. "This leads to the deep chamber," she said. "No one scans this far down." They climbed through the vent and dropped into darkness. Dust filled the air. Old cables hung like vines. Ryan looked around, heartbeat slowing. For now they were safe. He sat on the ground, back against the cold metal. "I was a soldier," he whispered. "That's all I knew. Follow orders. Protect Earth." Erin sat beside him. "Then why didn't you follow orders when they gave me to you?" Ryan looked at her, eyes tired. "Because I saw your eyes," he said. "And they weren't the eyes of a slave." Erin didn't answer, but for the first time, she smiled, not wide, not joyful, just enough to show she understood. And in that quiet moment, surrounded by the dead walls of an abandoned place, something began to grow between them. Not love, not yet, but something close. Trust. Far above them, ships still searched, Order still echoed, erase the traitor, delete. The girl destroyed the truth, but Ryan and Aaron were still alive, and the data had already been sent. Now it was only a matter of time. In the frozen silence of deep space, a small object drifted between stars. No engines, no lights, just a pulse. Steady, slow, hidden. The emergency data pod, launched by Ryan and Aaron, had no name, no voice, but it carried something louder than any weapon, the truth, and someone caught it. Back on the broken outpost, Ryan didn't know yet. He paced the floor, scanning news feeds, command channels, black market signals, anything. But there was nothing, just static and silence. It's been 3 days, he muttered. Aaron sat nearby, repairing a damaged scanner with quiet focus. They may have intercepted it, he added. Or they didn't, Aaron replied. Some signals take time. But we don't have time, Ryan said. They're still hunting us. Aaron didn't argue. She handed him the scanner, now fully functional. You'll need this when the message comes back, she said. Ryan looked at her, wondering again how much she knew, not just about tech, but about people. Hours later, the scanner beeped, once, twice, then locked onto a faint signal, encrypted, old code, not Earth standard. Aaron's eyes widened. That's Zalari frequency. She whispered. But your people are gone, Ryan said. Not all of them, she answered. Ryan opened the transmission. A voice came through, rough, metallic, hidden behind layers of static. This is Node 9. Echo received. Code matched. A pause then. Data confirmed. Eyes are open. Ryan looked at Aaron. Who is that? She stood up slowly. A resistance cell, she said. One of the last. The voice returned. If sender is alive, come to grid 14Z. Bring proof. Move fast. Ryan zoomed out the map. Grid 14Z was in the dead zone, a field of collapsing stars and forgotten battleships. No one flies there, he said. They do, Aaron replied. Why? Because no one else dares. They prepped the shuttle again, this time loading more fuel, more food, and the last of their power cells. Ryan glanced at the cracked photo he kept in his gear, a younger version of himself, smiling with his squad. Half of them were dead. The other half were following orders to kill him. They launched under the cover of solar interference. The trip was long, 2 days through radiation clouds and dead satellites. Ryan barely slept. Aaron stayed at the controls most of the time, her hands moving like she was born in space. Maybe she was when they reached grid 14Z. The stars looked different, cold, heavy, distant. Wrecked ships floated like skeletons in a graveyard. This was a battle site, Ryan whispered. More like a massacre. Aaron replied. Suddenly, their ship shook. Alarms flashed. They were being pulled in, a tractor beam, invisible but strong. Ryan reached for the controls. No use, Aaron said calmly. If they wanted us dead, we already would be. The shuttle was pulled toward a hidden hangar. Inside a broken Zalari cruiser, the bay opened slowly. No lights, no welcome, just a deep, mechanical voice. Power down, step out, leave weapons. Ryan and Aaron obeyed, stepping into the dark. Red lights flickered on, scanning them from head to toe. Then, from the shadows, came a tall figure, armored in dark plates, face hidden under a cracked visor. He spoke in perfect English. You brought the core? Ryan held it up. The figure scanned it, then turned. Follow me. They moved through cold halls filled with ancient tech, faded murals, and silence. Eventually, they reached a chamber lined with monitors and old screens. In the center, a glowing table projected files. Earth military documents, peace requests, hybrid experiments. You were right to send this, the armored figure said. But now you've made yourself a target. We already were, Ryan replied. Aaron stepped forward. How many of you are left? Enough, the man said. Enough to fight back. Ryan looked at the swirling data above them. We want to expose the truth, he said. Good, the figure replied. Because the truth is bigger than you think. He tapped the console. And a new file opened. Ryan leaned in, reading quickly, then froze. His own name was there. Next to something called Project Echo Human, files showed Ryan's DNA being logged. Scanned, altered during his service years. You were part of it too, the figure said. Not just a soldier. You were one of the test subjects. Ryan backed away, cold sweat on his neck. No, he said. That's not possible. It is, Aaron said softly. That's why they chose you for me. Ryan looked at her, heart pounding. What do you mean? They wanted to see what happened, Aaron whispered. When two experiments were forced to live together, the truth wasn't just buried in old labs or lost data. It was buried inside him. Inside both of them, and now it was waking up. The countdown had already started. They just didn't know it yet. Ryan stood in front of the mirror inside the resistance ship. He didn't recognize the man staring back at him. Same face, same eyes, same scars. But now, the uniform meant something. Different, not a symbol of pride, but of betrayal. Behind him, Aaron spoke. They lied to both of us, she said. They made us tools, wrapped us in loyalty, and called it honor. Ryan didn't answer. He was staring at the small scar under his left eye. He always thought it came from a mission in Sector 9, but now he wasn't sure it wasn't part of the experiment. We need to move fast, said the resistance leader, the armored man from the data room. We found an old transmission tower on a derelict relay moon. It still works? Ryan asked. Barely, he replied. But it can reach every human system if boosted through a relay chain. That's our shot, Aaron said. We send the truth, all of it, before they shut us down. They boarded a stealth runner. Ship, fast, small, silent. The flight was short, but Ryan's mind ran in circles. Every face he remembered, his captain, his squad. The scientists who told him nothing. Now they all looked like actors in a scripted war. And he was the audience who believed every line. They landed on the moon under a sky of red dust. The tower stood like a dying tree, bent but still standing. Aaron moved quickly, climbing the stairs, plugging in her repaired data core. The system came to life, lights flickering, code scrolling. Signal is weak, she said. We'll need to manually align the satellite dish. I'll do it. Ryan said, heading outside. Winds howled around him, sand stinging his face. He reached the panel and started realigning the dish, watching it turn like a slow eye waking up. Inside, Aaron worked fast. She decrypted the remaining files, cleaned the video proofs, and opened every locked record. Her fingers moved like she was born for this. Maybe she was. This was her chance to give voice to the millions erased by silence. Then a beep, a green light, connection established. The system was live. Aaron smiled slightly. Ryan, we're ready, she said into the but there was no answer. Ryan? She repeated. Silence suddenly. A sharp noise echoed outside. Not wind, not metal, a gunshot. Aaron grabbed her sidearm and ran. Her boots slammed against the stairs as she sprinted down. When she reached the platform, she saw Ryan on the ground, bleeding, clutching his shoulder. Behind him stood a man in full Earth military armor, helmet reflecting the red sky, gun still smoking. Step away, the soldier said, voice robotic. You've gone far enough. Aaron raised her weapon. The soldier laughed. You think you're the first Zellari to try this? He said. You think truth changes anything? Ryan gritted his teeth, trying to stand. You're too late, he said. The signals already live. The soldier didn't care. He aimed again, but before he could fire, a blast hit him from the side. The resistance ship had arrived. Weapons hot, the soldier flew backward into the dust. Armor sparking. Aaron ran to Ryan, helped him up. You okay? Still breathing, he said, trying to smile. They limped back inside. The terminal was flashing. Broadcast begins in 60 seconds. Do it, Ryan said. Aaron tapped the final command. The screens lit up, across hundreds of systems. Ships, stations, and civilian networks. The message went out. Footage, documents. DNA files, hybrid blueprints, secret orders, everything. The truth flew through space. Unstoppable, unfiltered, unforgotten. Then silence, no alarms, no more gunshots, just a quiet hum. They had done it. Ryan leaned against the wall, breath shaking. "We did it," he whispered. Erin looked at him with tired eyes. "For now," she said, "but the galaxy is about to wake up." Far away in Earth Command, screens began flashing. General shouted. "Systems overloaded, too late. Too loud, too real." It didn't happen all at once, not like in stories. The truth didn't crash through windows or bring down governments overnight. It moved like a whisper, from one screen to another, from one soldier to another, until it became a voice, and that voice became a roar in the streets of Earth cities. People gathered in silence, watching the leaked footage play on public walls. The hybrid experiments, the secret orders, the betrayal of peace. Ryan Hale's voice echoed through every corner of the system. This is the truth they buried, the truth they built their medals on. And beside him stood Erin, her face no longer hidden, not a slave, not a symbol, but a survivor. Some refused to believe it, some called it alien lies, but others, millions, saw it for what it was, a call to wake up. Inside the command towers of Earth's military, panic grew. The old leaders met in sealed rooms. They called it a containment emergency, but it was already too late. Ryan and Erin were still on the moon, hiding in the ruins of the broadcast tower. He was healing, slowly. But the wound on his shoulder wasn't the one that hurt most. It was the weight, the guilt, the history now written in his blood. "You changed the galaxy," Erin said softly, sitting beside him. "No," Ryan replied. "We just reminded it what truth sounds like." She turned to him. "There's something else," she said. He raised an eyebrow. "The DNA logs from Project Echo," she continued. "There were files about the hybrids." Ryan tensed. "What about them?" "They weren't just weapons," Erin said. "Some of them were born naturally." Ryan stared at her. "You mean children?" Erin nodded. "Half Solari, half human." The silence that followed was heavy. Ryan looked at the red sky. "What happened to them?" "No one knows," Erin replied. "Some were taken off-world, hidden. They might still be alive." Ryan stood slowly, pain in his muscles, but purpose in his steps. "Then we find them," he said. "We expose the rest and protect what's left." Just then, the resistance ship returned. The armored leader stepped out, nodding. "You've started something we can't stop," he said. "Good," Ryan replied. "Earth Command has split," the man continued. "Some want to arrest you, others want to follow you." Ryan glanced at Erin. "We don't lead," he said. "We guide." She added, together, they boarded the ship, heading not toward home, but toward something new. A mission, not for war, but for repair. Months passed. The systems shifted. Slowly but surely. More leaks came out, more soldiers confessed. Scientists stepped forward. Trials began. Protests rose, flags changed. And somewhere, far from the noise, on a green world untouched by war, Ryan stood near a small field where children played under an alien sky. Some had human eyes, others had violet ones like Erin. They ran, laughed, free, alive. Erin joined him, holding a small device. "More data recovered," she said. "More names?" "More hope," she smiled. Ryan looked at the children again. "We destroyed so much," he said, "but maybe this is how we fix it." She took his hand. "No," she said. "This is how we begin again." In that moment, the galaxy didn't feel so broken. The silence of space no longer felt empty. It felt full of voices, of truth, of second chances, because redemption isn't given. It's earned, and sometimes it begins with the very people who were never supposed to survive. Ryan Hale, the soldier, and Erin, the alien scientist, had become something more. Not heroes, not enemies, but the beginning of a new story.